You chose right, staying tuned on Rwanda television news tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a great midday or a Wednesday. And now, this is what is coming up on our tonight's edition. Citizens have greatly welcomed the move to cap prices on key foodstuffs. Imadi Agribusiness Challenge program is set to inject 200 million Rwandan francs financing into youth agriculture products. It's a great pleasure having your company tonight. Coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Sam Kalisa. And as we kick it off, on a Wednesday afternoon at Village Rugiro, President Paul Kagame received a delegation led by David Bonderman, the co-founder of TPG, to discuss conservation efforts across the continent. And to other matters, as we highlighted in our headlines, residents have greatly welcomed the move to cap prices on key foodstuffs. They say that the new prices of Irish potatoes, rice and maize flour established by the Ministry of Trade and Industry, if respected, will favor their development and the ease of life in general. Prince Manzi with more.
In the public announcement by the Ministry of Trade and Industry demonstrate that the value-added tax has been waived off on maize flour and rice, making a kilogram of maize flour's price 800 Rwandan francs. For rice, a short grain rice price is 820 Rwandan francs, long grain rice is 850, and basmati rice is 1,455 Rwandan francs. For Irish potatoes, Kenedi's price is 460 Rwandan francs per kilogram, Kirundo's price is 440, Twiha's 430 Rwandan francs, and Peko Irish potatoes is 410 Rwandan francs per kilogram. Citizens appreciate these new prices. It was a problem because food prices were high. This means that if rice is on 800 Rwandan francs, it is a good change. If Irish potatoes price goes down, it is a good change as well as maize flour. This means that there would be no hunger as anyone can afford it. The prices were also appreciated by sellers but demonstrate that if prices are respected instantly, they would fall into loss for the products retailed before. It is understandable that if we retailed Irish potatoes on 500 or 550, you cannot sell it on 400. They would have imposed a certain time interval and also consider farmers because the price we retail, for instance, Irish potatoes from them. It also adds transport and other expenses. This is where the problem is. The Ministry of Trade and Industry demonstrates that these prices were established after analyzing various reasons affecting food prices increase, and also after discussions held with various public institutions and private sector partners. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince Manzi, for this report. And as we move ahead, youth in agriculture appreciate the government subsidies as they help in their development. This is said as though the Imadi Agribusiness Challenge is by Imbuto Foundation, of course in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources, is set to inject 200 million Rwandan francs to young people's agriculture business projects across the country.
Freedom Iradukunda is a young entrepreneur specifically in agribusiness. After consulting the Business Development Fund supported with 10 million Rwandan francs, Freedom Iradukunda says that it helped in implementing his dreams of starting an agribusiness.
Nkirangiza kaminuza umutwe wanjye hari arimo guhita nigira hanze. Vuga nti nje muri Europe, nje muri Amerika, nje gushaka ubuzima.
After completing university, I only thought of moving out to foreign countries. I also applied for various jobs. Unemployment should be eradicated in youth because the agribusiness is supported by the government and highly. Starting up an agribusiness, it is a joy he shares with Anita Gikundiro, a young entrepreneur in Bugesera district, Eastern Province. Meanwhile, there are still challenges faced by the youth willing to start agribusinesses, as explained by Sakina Usengimana, the chairperson of the Rwanda Youth in Agribusiness Forum.
uburyo urubyiruko rubona amafaranga yo gutangiza kugira ngo rukore n'amafaranga.
The way these youth get the money to start up their businesses and know how to recover when they fall into losses, it is still a problem because capital is an issue. Another challenge is lack of skills.
Ibyo ntabwo bihagije. Ubwo bumenyi bwa agronome, ubumenyi bw'ubuveterineri ni igice kimwe cyo kurangira business.
As a way of supporting the youth in agriculture, it has been a month since Imbuto Foundation, together with the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources, started the Imari Agribusiness Challenge Project. Alex Muhire of Imbuto Foundation states that the aim of this project is to support the youth out of poverty and increase the agricultural production on the market.
Ni byiza ko iyo urubyiruko ruganye umwuga w'ubuhinzi ashobora kuba ahinga hectare imwe cyangwa se ahinga.
It is good for a youth to join agribusiness because in cultivating 1 hectare land, he will not do it alone. Rather, there will be supporters, and if he gets his production, it will be needed at the market, hence hiring transporters and others. He might start as one person or a team, but at the end of the day, they employ many people. This also goes with solving issues still found in this sector, including malnutrition rated 24%. If the production will be enough for the market, we will solve the malnutrition issue, the employment issue, and there will be the increase of production on the market.
No kongera ibiribwa ku isoko.
It is expected that the first 5 businesses will be given 10 million Rwanda francs each. Heifer International Rwanda research demonstrated that the youth in agribusiness have a challenge in accessing technological assets, whereby in 45%, only 18% have access to the basic technological assets. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Foreign currency exchange traders have been urged to improve their performance in order to prevent from terrorism financing as well as fraud. Adam Squizera.
The more rapid development of the world, the more crimes related to terrorism increase, plus the circulation and transfer of money aimed to finance such crimes, commonly known as money laundering, were through the partnership with the Federation of the Rwanda Forex Bureaus and the Central Bank. They urge the practitioners to prevent from engaging in such crimes, which can be developed through money transfer services. We learned that today we have to also request the clients their identification documents on time so that this can be helpful by the time there is a certain issue, since most of the times we don't even know where the money are coming from, but by now we can be able to identify the origin of that money. Godfrey Mugabe assured the Forex practitioners assistance, which will help them to improve their service delivery.
Muri visite za BNR n'ibigo by'imari muri rusange bimwe mu byo bagombaga gukora twagiye tubibahereza ariko
in the various visits operated by BNR in different financial institutions, we gave them the guidelines of some of the keys that they were supposed to do, where the first thing was to raise their level of understandings, whereby now they have a consultant who is helping them. Meanwhile, depending on the challenge they indicated before, we hope that the level of understandings has raised. The head of the Association of Foreign Exchange Professionals, Muhiji Zefani, noted that they are looking forward in improving their practices in this sector. The issue of improper documenting or to not be vigilant on the money laundering, as it is a very sensitive issue which the country is also concerned of. I think you know that the country will be inspected in June this year. That's why we are getting prepared so that the inspection will find us way improved. It is expected that in June there will be an international inspection on Rwanda, where they will be inspecting operations of the Forex practitioners. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for the report. Moving ahead, the Rwanda National Police made a rotation of 320 police officers of the formed police unit FPU contingents serving under the UN Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Central African Republic, also known as MINUSCA, where they were briefed by the Deputy Inspector General of the Rwanda National Police in charge of operations, Vincent Sano, to be be cautious and professional, which usually characterizes the Rwanda National Police, as he also appreciated those that they are going to replace for their heroic acts on the mission. Rwanda FPU-19 contingent of 140 officers under the command of Chief Superintendent of Police CPS Venarubaiza will replace the FPU-18 in Bangui, whereas the Rwanda FPU-28 unit of 180 officers commanded by CPS John Bosco Rudasingwa will also replace the Rwanda FPU-27 in Kaga Bandoro, more than 300 kilometers from the capital city, Bangui. We are definitely still in the 100 days of commemoration of the 1994 genocide that was perpetrated against the Tutsi. Now, matters related to that. History was made today, April 19th, 2023, as the first 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda Memorial Site was unveiled in the Kingdom of Netherlands. The memorial is expected to help survivors and the larger community in the Netherlands to remember their loved ones, but also be a place that can give an opportunity to the Dutch population, especially young generation, to reflect and learn from the atrocities of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. The Kingdom of Netherlands remained the only major country in Western Europe without any memorial for the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Now, the embassy of Rwanda and Ibuka in Netherlands both, of course, applauded this particular move of establishing a memorial of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi victims. Moving ahead to other matters still related to Kibuka 29, French ambassador to Rwanda, Antoine Anfray, finds that commemorating the genocide against the Tutsi should be everyone's responsibility. He reiterated this during the commemoration of employees of the French embassy that were killed during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994.
Ambassador to Rwanda, Antoine Anfray, noted that the international organizations should listen to some of the speeches and individuals who are advocating for the countries that are heading towards a terrible situation like the genocide against the Tutsi. He also pointed out that commemorating should be everyone's responsibility in order to value the victims who were killed during the genocide against Tutsi in 1994. Commemorating is a duty, the duty to remember the innocent people who were killed in the genocide against Tutsi, and the employees of our embassy in particular who were killed in the genocide against Tutsi in 1994. Regarding the behavior of the international community in 1994 and in the previous years, there were individuals who understood what was happening that time, like Romeo, but unluckily, no one listened to them. Their speeches, which are similar to those which were spread shortly before 1994, that are being heard in some countries in the region. As my opinion is that there should be something to follow up, and I think the international community should also take care of it by either taking action in preventing the evil rather than waiting to solve the problem too late.
Et d'être davantage dans l'anticipation et non pas dans la réaction, parce que quand elle réagit, c'est toujours trop tard.
In the 29th commemoration of the employees of the French embassy in Rwanda, some of the employees of the French embassy in Rwanda who survived the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, as well as some of the families of the employees of this embassy, says that the fact France is now joining Rwanda and other countries in commemoration activities seems to be a great step forward. You see that there is a step. As to that, they are now understanding that they should join us to commemorate the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. At the headquarters of the French embassy in Rwanda, there is a monument of the genocide against Tutsi, where on this monument there is a list of former employees of the French embassy who were killed in the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
And this marks the end of our tonight's edition. On behalf of the entire news, as well as the technical team that made it happen, thank you for keeping it with us. Up until next time, stay safe and have a great evening.